You eat meat, you get your protein. Seems simple enough, right? But what if I told you that how you cook your meat might be robbing your body of the protein it needs most? Especially if you're over 60. The way you prepare that chicken, steak, or pork chop could be the reason you're feeling weak, tired, or slow to recover. See, protein isn't just about what's on your plate. It's about what your body can actually use. And certain cooking habits can make protein harder to digest, less bioavailable, or even damage it altogether. That means your muscles, bones, and energy levels miss out, even when you think you're eating right. In this video, we're breaking down 6 meat cooking mistakes that can block protein absorption in seniors. Stick with us and learn how to turn each bite into strength, energy, and a healthier, more active you. As we age, our bodies naturally become less efficient at absorbing protein. That's why seniors are often encouraged to eat more high-quality protein to maintain muscle, balance, and energy. But what many don't realize is that even if you're eating enough meat, your body may not be absorbing it well because of the way it's cooked. Overcooking, charring, using too much oil, or constantly reheating leftovers can change the structure of the protein, making it harder for your body to break down and use. The result: you eat the right foods but still feel sluggish, sore, or weak. For older adults, that missed protein can lead to muscle loss, slower healing, and lower immunity. But the good news? These cooking mistakes are easy to fix. With just a few smart changes, you can make sure every piece of meat fuels your body the way it should. Let's dive in and see what might be holding you back. Part 1. Overcooking meat until it's dry. Let's kick things off with one of the most common meat cooking habits out there: overcooking. Now listen, we all want to make sure our food is safe, especially when it comes to meat. But when you crank the heat too high and cook it until it's dry, tough, and chewy, you could be doing more harm than good, especially for your body's ability to use that protein. Here's what's really going on. Protein is made up of delicate structures that can denature or break down under high heat. That's normal. But when you cook meat too long or too hot, you're breaking down the protein so much that your digestive system has to work overtime just to process it. And for seniors, who already absorb protein less efficiently, that overcooked steak might not be doing you any favors. Take Paul Newman, not the movie star, but a real 78-year-old from Iowa. Paul's always been a fan of a good steak, but he liked it well done every single time. No pink, no juice, just charred and cooked through. But lately, Paul started noticing something. He felt tired, weaker, and his muscles didn't feel as strong, even though he was eating protein daily. His doctor asked about his meals and suggested trying a medium or medium-well steak instead. Paul gave it a shot: less heat, shorter cooking time, more tenderness. And within just a few weeks, he felt a real difference. His energy picked up, his digestion felt smoother, and his strength started coming back. Same food, just cooked a little smarter. So if you're always cooking your meat until it's bone dry, it might be time to dial it back a bit. You're not just saving flavor, you're saving the nutrients your body needs to stay strong. Now we want to hear from you. Do you prefer your meat well done or tender? Drop your answer in the comments and let's see how your cooking style compares to others. You might just find a new method that helps your body feel better with every bite. Part 2. Cooking with too much oil or butter. Now, let's talk about something a lot of us love: cooking meat with oil or butter. It adds flavor, keeps things juicy, and gives you that golden, crispy finish. But here's the thing: too much fat in the pan can actually slow down your digestion, and that can make it harder for your body to absorb the protein you're trying to get from that meal. Here's why. When you cook meat in heavy oils, butter, or lard, the high-fat content coats the food and slows down how fast your stomach processes it. For younger folks, that's not a huge deal. But if you're over 60, or if you've got a sensitive liver or gallbladder, your system may struggle to break it all down. And when digestion slows, protein absorption takes a hit. That means less strength, slower recovery, and more fatigue. Take Mary Carter, 81, from Mississippi. She grew up frying everything, especially her famous chicken, cooked in a big skillet with butter and oil. Tasted amazing, but after meals, she'd feel sluggish, bloated, and just worn out. Her energy would dip, and she started wondering if something was off. After a chat with her doctor and a little trial and error, Mary made the switch. She started baking her chicken instead, using a light spray of olive oil and a bunch of her favorite spices. And let me tell you, she noticed the difference fast. No more post-meal crashes, better digestion, and more pep in her step. And best of all, she still loved the way it tasted. So here's the lesson. Fat isn't the enemy, but too much of it can get in the way, especially if it's blocking your body from getting the protein it really needs to stay strong and healthy. Now it's your turn. How do you usually cook your meat? Grilled, fried, or baked? Drop your favorite method in the comments and let's see what everyone's cooking up. You might inspire someone to try a lighter, better-for-you version of their favorite dish. Part 3. Using strong marinades with acid or salt. All right, let's talk marinades. Because who doesn't love a little flavor boost, right? A good soak in lemon juice, vinegar, or salty seasoning can take your meat from bland to bold in no time. But here's something you might not know. Using too much acid or salt in your marinade can actually work against your body, especially if you're trying to absorb protein efficiently. Here's the science behind it. Strong acids like vinegar or citrus juice break down the surface of meat, which can make it more tender, sure. But if you overdo it, they can break down the proteins so much that your digestive system struggles to process them properly. Same goes for heavy salt. It can change the protein structure and affect how it's absorbed during digestion. For older adults, that means you could be missing out on the muscle repairing power you were aiming for. Just ask Frank Delgado, 77, from Nevada. He loved his marinated pork chops, heavy on the vinegar, with lots of salt and spices. Tasted amazing, but after dinner, Frank was dealing with frequent stomach discomfort, gas, and bloating that just wouldn't quit. He figured maybe it was just his age, until he sat down with a nutritionist who took one look at his recipe and said, "Let's try going a little milder." They swapped the heavy marinade for a light rub of herbs, a splash of olive oil, and just a pinch of salt. Frank gave it a shot, and guess what? His digestion improved, his discomfort faded, and he finally started getting the energy boost he was missing after meals. So the next time you marinate, think gentle. A little flavor goes a long way, and your gut will thank you. Do you marinate your meats? Comment yes if it's part of your routine, or going milder if you're thinking about switching it up. Because better flavor doesn't have to come at the cost of better health. Part 4. Cooking meat. Straight from the fridge. Too cold. Here's a simple habit that a lot of folks don't even think twice about. Cooking meat straight from the fridge. You pull it out, toss it in the pan, and figure it'll all cook through eventually. But here's the thing. When you throw cold meat directly into a hot pan or oven, you're setting yourself up for uneven cooking, and that can seriously mess with both taste and nutrition. When meat is too cold, the outside can cook too fast while the inside stays underdone. So what do? We end up leaving it on the heat longer to make sure it's safe. And that often leads to overcooked protein, exactly what you don't want. Overcooking, as we've talked about, breaks down proteins and makes them harder for your body to absorb. Meanwhile, undercooked sections can lead to digestive discomfort or worse, food safety concerns. Let's take a look at Alice Harmon, 80, from Oregon. Alice is a go-getter. Likes to get things done fast. She used to grab her chicken straight from the fridge and throw it on the stove right away. But she noticed that her meals weren't cooking evenly, and she'd often feel a little off afterward, bloated or uncomfortable. Her daughter, who works in food service, gave her a quick tip. Let the meat rest at room temperature for 15 to 20 minutes before cooking. That small change gave Alice more consistent results, better flavor, and way fewer digestive issues. Just letting the meat warm up slightly helped everything cook evenly and made a real difference in how her body felt after eating. So if you've been skipping this step, it might be time to slow down just a bit and give your meat a chance to come to room temp before cooking. Did you know about the room temp trick? Comment new to me if this was a surprise, or always do it if you've already made it a habit. Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference, especially in the kitchen. Part 5. Burning or charring the meat. Let's talk about that sizzle, the sound of a steak hitting a hot pan or grill. It's satisfying, no doubt. And for a lot of folks, that charred edge means flavor. But here's the truth. Burning or heavily charring your meat doesn't just affect taste. It affects your health too. When meat gets cooked at super high temperatures, especially over an open flame or in a dry pan, it forms something called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. Fancy names, but they're known to be harmful, especially in large amounts. These compounds are linked to inflammation and long-term health risks, but that's not all. Charring also damages the amino acids in your meat, the building blocks of protein. That means even if you're eating a high-protein meal, your body may not absorb it as well if the meat's been burnt or blackened. For seniors, where every gram of protein counts, they can make a real difference in strength and recovery. Let me introduce you to Leonard Brooks, 79, from Texas. Now, Leonard loved his steaks with a crisp edge, almost black on the outside, just the way he'd been cooking them for decades. But over time, he noticed he was feeling sluggish after meals, and his digestion wasn't what it used to be. At a regular checkup, his doctor explained the risks of burnt meat, not just for digestion, but for overall protein use in the body. Leonard didn't want to give up his favorite cuts, so he made a switch. He started slow cooking more often, braised meats, baked chicken, even a few stews. And wouldn't you know it, within a month he felt more energetic, less bloated, and stronger after meals. So if you're a fan of that heavy sear or grill char, you might want to tone it down a bit. Go for golden brown, not black. And try lower, slower cooking styles when you can. How do you like your meat? Seared or soft and slow? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this part made you think twice about your grill game, hit like and let us know. Your body might just thank you. Part 6. Skipping meat altogether or eating too little. Let's face it, not everyone loves meat. And for many seniors, chewing gets harder, digestion slows down, or appetite just isn't what it used to be. So they start skipping meat altogether, or eating way less than their body really needs. And while that might seem harmless, or even healthy, not getting enough protein can be a real problem. As we age, our bodies need more protein, not less, to maintain muscle, strength, balance, and energy. But when meat gets cut out and nothing replaces it, seniors can quickly fall into protein deficiency, which leads to fatigue, weakness, slower healing, and even higher risk of falls or illness. Just ask Doris White, 84, from Pennsylvania. She started avoiding meat after some dental issues made chewing difficult. She told herself it was fine. She'd just eat more soup and toast. But over time, Doris felt herself getting weaker and more tired, even though she was still eating regularly. During a routine checkup, a dietitian asked about her meals and immediately saw the issue: not enough protein. Together, they found easier ways for Doris to get what she needed: soft, slow-cooked meats like shredded chicken, ground turkey, and even protein-rich soups with blended meats and beans. And just like that, Doris started getting her strength back. She was more active, steadier on her feet, and felt like herself again. So here's the takeaway. If you're not eating much meat because of texture or digestion issues, don't skip it. Adapt it. There are plenty of softer, easier-to-eat protein options that still give your body what it needs to stay strong. Are you getting enough protein daily? Drop a comment below. Type "getting there" if you're working on it, or "need help" if this is something you're just starting to think about. You're not alone, and every small change you make gets you one step closer to feeling stronger and more energized with every bite. Cooking isn't just about making food taste good. It's about helping your body work better. And for seniors, that's more important than ever. The way you prepare your meat can either fuel your muscles, boost your energy, and support recovery, or leave your body missing out on the very nutrients it needs most. From overcooking to undereating, each habit might seem small on its own. But when you start making smarter choices in the kitchen, you'll feel the difference in how you move, think, and live. Stronger meals lead to stronger bodies and a stronger you. So now it's your turn. Which of these cooking habits surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments below, and let's keep learning from each other. If this video helped you see your kitchen in a new light, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more real, down-to-earth tips that help you stay strong, sharp, and independent, one meal at a time.